Welcome back. I'm on these going, Will. Let's talk about the thing that's been holding you back from everything you want. It's not lack of talent. It's not bad timing. It's not even circumstances. It's fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of looking stupid, fear of not being enough. And here's the hard truth. Fear is running your life right now. It's making your decisions. It's keeping you small. It's whispering, not yet, and play it safe, and what if it goes wrong? But today, that changes. Because I'm going to show you how to stop letting fear be in charge. This isn't about becoming fearless. It's about learning to move forward with fear instead of being frozen by it. Let's begin. Here's the problem. Fear feels like protection. Your brain thinks it's keeping you safe by making you avoid anything uncertain or risky. And in some situations, that's actually helpful. If you're about to walk off a cliff, fear should stop you. But most of the time, the things you're afraid of aren't actually dangerous. They're just uncomfortable. Having a tough conversation, starting something new, putting yourself out there. These things won't kill you, but your brain treats them like they might. And as long as you listen to that false alarm, you stay stuck in a life that feels safe, but small. You know this pattern, you've lived it. You want to do something, really want to, but the moment you think about actually doing it, fear floods in. And it brings all its friends. Doubt, worry, the 1,000 reasons why it could go wrong. So you tell yourself you'll do it later. When you're more prepared, when the timing is better, when you're less afraid. But later never comes, because fear doesn't go away on its own. It just gets louder the longer you avoid what scares you. And every time you choose safety over growth, you're teaching your brain that the fear was right, that the thing you avoided really was dangerous. So next time, the fear is even stronger. So here's what we need to understand. You can't eliminate fear. That's not how this works. Your brain is wired to protect you, and fear is part of that system. But you can change your relationship with fear. You can stop treating it like a stop sign and start treating it like information. Because that's all it is, information, not truth, not a command, just your brain saying, hey, this is unfamiliar, this could be risky. And once you understand that, you can make a different choice. You can acknowledge the fear and do the thing anyway. Your fear response happens in a part of your brain called the amygdala. It's fast, it's automatic, it doesn't think, it just reacts. When it senses something unfamiliar or potentially threatening, it floods your body with stress hormones. Your heart races, your palms sweat, your mind goes to worst case scenarios. That's not a malfunction. That's your survival system doing its job. The problem is, it can't tell the difference between real danger and perceived danger. So it treats a job interview the same way it treats a bear attack. Your job isn't to shut down this system. It's to bring in another part of your brain, your prefrontal cortex, the thinking part, and let it have a say. That's where you ask, is this actually dangerous or just uncomfortable? Here's how you actually do this. Step 1, name the fear. Don't push it down. Don't pretend it's not there. Just notice it and name it. Say it out loud if you can. I'm afraid I'll fail. I'm afraid they'll reject me. I'm afraid I'll look stupid. The simple act of naming it takes some of its power away, because when you name it, you're activating the thinking part of your brain. You're stepping out of pure reaction and into observation. And observation gives you distance. Distance gives you choice. Watch what happens when you name it. The fear doesn't disappear, but it becomes smaller, more manageable. Because now it's not this huge, vague monster. It's a specific thing you can look at. And when you can look at it, you can question it. Which brings us to step 2. Challenge the fear. Ask yourself, what's the actual worst case scenario here? Not the catastrophic fantasy your brain jumps to, the realistic worst thing that could happen. And then ask, could I handle that? Almost always, the answer is yes. It might not be fun, it might be uncomfortable, but you could handle it. Let me show you. Let's say you're afraid to have a difficult conversation with someone. Step 1, name it. I'm afraid they'll get angry and reject me. Step 2, challenge it. What's the actual worst case? Maybe they do get upset. Maybe they need space. Maybe the relationship changes. Could you handle that? Yes. It would hurt, but you'd survive. Now, what's the best case? You have an honest conversation, you clear the air, the relationship gets stronger. What's the most likely case? Somewhere in the middle. It's a bit awkward at first, but you both work through it. When you map it out like this, fear loses its grip because you're seeing clearly instead of through the lens of panic. Step 3. Take the smallest step forward, not a giant leap, not the whole scary thing at once, just the very next small step. If you're afraid to start a business, you don't have to quit your job tomorrow. Just research one thing today. If you're afraid to have that conversation, you don't have to say everything at once. Just say one honest sentence. If you're afraid to post your work online, you don't have to share your magnum opus. Just share one small thing. Because here's what happens. When you take that small step and survive it, your brain gets new data. Data that says, oh, I did the thing and I'm still okay. And that data contradicts the fear. Over time, with enough data, the fear shrinks. This is how you build courage. Not by waiting for the fear to go away, but by moving forward in tiny increments while the fear is present. Each small step is a vote of confidence in yourself. Each time you feel the fear and do it anyway, you're training your brain that fear doesn't have to stop you. And gradually, incredibly, your relationship with fear transforms. It stops being your master and becomes your companion. Something you notice, acknowledge, and move with. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but what if my fear is protecting me from something real? Here's how you tell the difference. Ask yourself, is this fear warning me of physical danger, or is it just warning me of discomfort? If you're about to do something that could actually harm you physically, listen to that fear. But if the fear is about emotional discomfort, social risk, or potential failure, that's the kind of fear you need to walk through, not away from. Because on the other side of that fear is everything you actually want. Growth, connection, opportunity, the life you're meant to live. Look at what happens when people stop letting fear decide. They don't become fearless, they become free. Free to try, free to fail, free to be imperfect, and still show up. Because they've learned that fear is just a feeling, not a fact. It's a weather pattern, not a wall. You can feel afraid and still move forward. You can be terrified and still be brave. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more. Here's your challenge for this week. Pick one thing you've been avoiding because of fear. Just one. Write down what you're actually afraid of. Name it. Then challenge it. What's the realistic worst case and could you handle it? Then take the smallest possible step toward the thing you're afraid of. Not the whole thing. Just one tiny step. And notice what happens. Notice that you survive. Notice that the fear was loud but not accurate. Notice that you're more capable than your fear told you. Then do it again tomorrow. One small step, then another. That's how you stop fear from running your life. Not by eliminating it, but by refusing to let it have the final say. The truth is, you'll probably be afraid for the rest of your life. New challenges bring new fears. That's just being human. But you don't have to be controlled by it. You can acknowledge the fear, thank it for trying to protect you, and then gently move it to the passenger seat. Because you're driving now, and where you're going, the person you're becoming, the life you're building, requires you to drive toward the things that scare you, not away from them. That's not recklessness, that's courage. And courage is a skill you build with practice. Thanks for being here today. Remember, fear is information, not a command. Name it. Take one small step anyway. Challenge it. And watch as your life expands beyond the borders. Fear tried to draw for you. You're braver than you think. And the life you want is waiting on the other side of that fear. Until next time, feel the fear and do it anyway. One small, courageous step at a time. I believe in you. See you soon.